Few moments on live television have captured global attention as instantly as the first time Emanne Beasha opened her mouth to sing. In today's report, we take a closer look at the young soprano who rose from quiet beginnings to dominate international headlines. At a time when talent shows were flooded with vocalists trying to stand out, Emanne's entrance onto the America's Got Talent stage reshaped expectations of what a young performer could deliver. Viewers often describe her tone as otherworldly, and experts have compared her vocal clarity to seasoned opera professionals decades older. What makes her rise especially remarkable is not just the sound she produces, but the sheer contrast between her age, her calm presence, and the power behind her voice. As clips from her audition spread online, comments poured in from audiences worldwide who were stunned that such control and range could come from a performer so young. But what most people don't know is that her journey began long before she ever stepped onto the AGT stage. Her sudden media explosion may have appeared overnight, yet her development was shaped by years of observation, encouragement, and early performances. Before she became a household name, she had already built a reputation abroad, impressing judges, audiences, and critics who predicted she was destined for something far larger. And as we revisit her story today, it becomes clear that her emergence on the international scene was not just unexpected, it was inevitable. Long before Emanne's voice echoed across American television screens, quiet conversations had already begun about a young prodigy developing overseas. Born in 2008 in Amman, Jordan, Emanne Beasha grew up in an environment where music was encouraged but not necessarily expected to reach a global stage. Family and friends recall early moments when her natural pitch and tone stood out sharply from other children. What began as simple humming around the house soon transformed into unmistakable glimpses of something extraordinary. Her parents reportedly noticed that she could mimic complex melodies long before she fully understood what she was performing. This unusual ability prompted them to nurture her interest, enrolling her in early lessons and exposing her to classical music and vocal training materials, even though opera is far from typical for someone her age. While many child singers lean toward pop or contemporary styles, Emanne gravitated toward opera, a path that requires precision, discipline, and intense control. Vocal coaches who worked with her commented on her innate placement and natural vibrato, characteristics that are notoriously difficult for young singers to master. As she continued training, her confidence grew, and it became evident that she possessed not only the voice but also the calm, composed presence necessary for major stages. This period laid the foundation for what would become one of the most rapid and unexpected rises in modern talent show history. But her early development was only the beginning. Soon, she would step into a spotlight many could never imagine at her age and deliver performances that shifted the trajectory of her life forever. Emanne's first major milestone didn't happen in the United States. It happened thousands of miles away, where she was about to make her first international headlines. Before the world saw her on AGT, Emanne made her television debut on Arab's Got Talent, a platform that showcases performers from across the Middle East. Her appearance quickly became one of the most memorable in the show's recent history. Performing pieces far beyond the usual repertoire of young contestants, she captivated both the judges and the studio audience. Analysts pointed out that her vocal maturity seemed to accelerate almost overnight, and clips from her performance began circulating rapidly across social media platforms in multiple countries. As her popularity surged, commentators noted how refreshing it was to see a young singer choose opera rather than mainstream genres. Opera is often viewed as an intimidating field even for adult professionals, yet Emanne approached it with precision and confidence. By the time she won the competition's title, her reputation as an international prodigy was firmly established. It became clear that her abilities were not a fleeting novelty, but a genuine artistic force gaining traction beyond borders. The momentum from this victory positioned her perfectly for her next move. Although she had already become a regional sensation, she was about to face an entirely new scale of visibility, one that would introduce her to millions of viewers and place her talent on one of the world's most influential entertainment stages. Even on a show built on surprises, rare moments silence an entire studio, and Emanne delivered one of them. When Emanne stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, the atmosphere shifted almost instantly. She appeared calm and poised, giving no hint of the powerful vocal display that was about to follow. Reporters covering the show later remarked that the judges leaned forward before she even began, sensing something unique about her presence. And once her performance started, the reaction was immediate. Audience members rose to their feet within seconds, stunned by the clarity and strength of her voice. Her rendition showcased not only precision but emotional depth, something critics often claim takes decades to develop. Commentators pointed out the flawless control she maintained throughout the piece, a level typically reserved for professional sopranos with extensive training. Within hours of broadcast, clips from her audition climbed trending lists, accumulating millions of views and drawing global news coverage. Vocal specialists began dissecting her performance, praising her technique, breathing control, and exceptional tone for her age. This audition marked a defining moment in her career, a point where her talent leapt from regional recognition to worldwide attention. But as breathtaking as that first performance was, Emanne was far from finished. What followed next would solidify her position as one of the most remarkable young performers to grace the show. Some contestants peak early, but with Emanne, each round seemed to raise the bar. As the competition progressed, viewers noticed that Emanne didn't simply repeat the success of her audition. Instead, she built on it with performances that displayed increasing confidence and vocal agility. In the Judge Cuts round, she delivered a piece that demonstrated her ability to adapt to different operatic styles, earning praise from both the panel and online commentators who were tracking her journey closely. By the time she reached the quarterfinals, her rising momentum had become a central topic among AGT followers. Reporters highlighted the effortless purity of her tone and her exceptional pitch stability, qualities rarely seen at such a young age. Her semi-final performance introduced yet another layer of complexity, reinforcing the idea that she was not only talented but rapidly evolving with every appearance. Critics observed that her delivery carried a level of emotional sophistication surprising for her age, causing viewers to feel as though they were watching a seasoned performer. As the finale approached, expectations were incredibly high. Social media discussions indicated that many fans believed she was the strongest vocalist in the season. But despite widespread admiration and consistently strong reviews, the competition would deliver an unexpected result, one that left the audience divided and questioning how such a powerful performance arc could conclude without the title. In the final round, Emanne delivered what many called one of the most polished performances of the entire season, yet the outcome took viewers by surprise. Her finale appearance featured a demanding operatic selection paired with a level of composure that reporters described as unusually collected for a performer her age. The control she displayed, particularly in her upper register, drew widespread attention from vocal experts who analyzed the technical difficulty of the piece. Judges offered strong praise, and the audience responded with unanimous standing ovations, reinforcing the perception that Emanne had solidified her spot as a frontrunner. However, as the results were revealed, the outcome was not what many viewers had anticipated. Although she earned massive support and admiration, the title ultimately went to another contestant. Online discussions erupted almost immediately, with debates across community forums and entertainment publications questioning whether the result reflected the season's most compelling performance trajectory. Despite the surprise, the general consensus remained clear. Emanne had delivered a finale that demonstrated professional-level mastery, and established her as one of the standout performers in recent AGT history. While she did not take home the championship title, her presence on the global stage was unmistakably strengthened. Her performance left a lasting impact not only on the judges, but also on the industry professionals who were now closely watching her next move. Leaving AGT was not the end of her story. It was the start of a new chapter that few predicted. Following her highly publicized run on the show, Emanne continued to attract international attention. She performed at major events, collaborated with orchestras, and received invitations from organizations impressed by her technical skill and growing fanbase. Entertainment journalists noted that her artistic evolution remained steady, with each new recording showcasing enhanced confidence and vocal refinement. In the years since her AGT appearance, Emanne has maintained an active performance schedule while continuing her musical studies. Recent interviews highlight her commitment to long-term artistic development, a rare and promising sign for someone who reached fame at such a young age. While no major controversies or dramatic rumors surround her career, ongoing speculation about future albums, concert tour, and cross-genre collaborations continues to circulate among fans and music analysts. Today, Emanne stands as an example of how early talent, when guided with care and discipline, can grow into sustained international recognition. And as her artistic journey continues, observers agree that she remains one of the most compelling young performers to emerge from the global talent show landscape. Few young performers have left such a lasting impression on global audiences, and the question now is not whether Emanne Beasha will rise higher, but how far she will go. From her early days in Jordan to the massive stages of global television, Emanne's story is one of steady development, unexpected breakthroughs, and remarkable vocal maturity. Her AGT journey may not have ended with a trophy, but the impact of her performances resonated far beyond a single season. Media analysts continue to highlight her as one of the most promising young sopranos in the world, and investors in classical and crossover music are watching her progress closely. Her path demonstrates how talent, opportunity, and disciplined growth can intersect to create a career with lasting potential. And as she continues her musical development, the world remains eager to see what her next chapter will bring. Whether she steps into major opera houses, records new projects, or explores unexpected artistic directions, one thing is certain. Emanne Beasha's voice has already carved a place in modern music history, and her story is still being